MyGolfSpy have just released their top 5 players irons of 2023, and alongside some pretty big and, let's face it, expensive names, there are a few shocks that could help you save some money. In today's video, we're going to test them out number 3 against number 1, both in here in the GolfZone simulator for numbers, for ball speed, for distance, for spin rate. We're also going to test them for playability, workability and forgiveness out here on the golf course. That's right guys, we have the Mizuno JPX 923 Tours against the Takomo 301 CB irons. Takomo are in at number 3 in MyGolfSpy's best players irons, and I must admit, for the price that you can get these direct to consumer irons for, you have to take your hat off because you could save yourself an absolute fortune. I keep the hat off, but my haircut is absolutely terrible at the moment. So let's see just how these 4 irons compare out here on the course. I'm going to go with Takomo 301 first, and I must admit the first thing I like about these irons not only is the price, but the simplicity of the design. You'll see we have a little bit of perimeter weighting around the top here. That is the cavity back design. You'll see we've got a nice little thick kind of toe area there. And one of the things I really loved when testing these irons is that player's style shape. We don't have too much offset, we don't have a massive thick top line, and we even have a little bit of a chamfered away leading edge to help with that turf interaction. They really have thought of everything, and it's easy to see why these would be in the top 5 players iron of anyone's list, never mind MyGolfSpy. I'm a huge fan of MyGolfSpy. I think they are definitely number 1 in golf club reviews. They leave no stone unturned. Right, we're going to go with a nice high one to start with, then we'll play a low one. We'll do the same with the Mizuno. Pretty hard to argue with that for a 4-iron off the tee. Lovely big high fade, lovely strike, sounded fantastic down there in the middle of the fairway. Now if I want to play a nice low shot here, can I do that with this? If you are talking players irons, we need to be able to work the ball, we need to be able to pick a ball flight. If it's windy, you can knock that ball flight down just a touch. This is where it becomes more difficult, because if that cavity back and that weighting is designed for forgiveness, it's a lot harder to play a little low one. Totally different ball flight, as you can see, totally different attack angle, very similar result, bounding down the fairway. That's a pretty good start for the Takomo. Can we do the same, if not better, with the Mizuno JPX 923 Tours? Now, I've actually had these in the bag for quite some time now. I love the look of these, I love the feel of them, I love the sound of them. There's the old saying, nothing feels like a Mizuno, isn't there? Is that just marketing or is it fact? Let's go with a nice normal shot to start with. Again, pretty difficult to argue with that. Quite a different pitch actually. It sounds a little bit softer, as you can imagine. Chris, who I play a lot of golf with, actually doesn't like these irons. He claims they feel too soft, which I sort of understand if you do want that element of feedback. Now can we play the low shot? Spoiler alert, I know we can because I play this quite a lot. I'll move that worm because I don't feel like he deserves to go just yet. But I play this shot quite a lot when playing golf. Yeah. Oh yeah. I think it's fair to say you're not going to be disappointed with any of these 4 irons should you go and choose them, which is probably why out of all the clubs out there, MyGolfSpy have got both of them in their top 5. Number 1 is the Mizuno JPX 923 Tours, and funnily enough that's an iron which I know quite a lot about because I've been playing that iron for quite some time. I do really enjoy it. I enjoy the feel, the sound, the performance. Oh, so close. And in at number 3 is a club that's slightly different, and I'm going to talk through that a little bit later on in this video because it's a totally different model. It's a direct consumer model. You may have seen them on my channel before, the Takomo irons, but we're going to test them in here. I've got the 8 irons just to see what the real difference is between number 1 and number 3. I want to see the difference in ball speed, I want to see the difference in spin, I want to see the difference in control. That helps. That was to 2 feet. We'll take that all day long. And you see the big thing for me with the Mizuno irons, guys, the JPX, I can see why they are at number 1. The old saying, nothing feels like a Mizuno. You could say that's a little bit of a cheap gimmick. You could say it's a marketing tool. You could say it's fact, because the Mizunos certainly feel really, really soft. I'm well aware how subjective that is. They are number 1 in so many people's bags for a reason. Let's keep going, 153 yards. I've got these on absolute string today here on the GolfZone 2 Vision. That should be close. it's another one to 4 feet this time. We are absolutely cooking on gas. One more, then we're going to go to Como, guys. We'll jump back out on the golf course, do some more testing with the full sets of these irons. Also, guys, make sure you do hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying these videos. We are giving away a good putter at the moment on the channel. I'll put the link in the description to that. Come on, one more good one, and then we'll get the Takomo out and save some money. Right, they're going to be tough to beat. I'm not going to lie, they are going to be very tough to beat. So everyone, real quick one, you may know I have teamed up with the guys over at the Swing Tweaks app. If you want PGA professional advice, you don't want to spend a fortune and you don't want to leave your own home, make sure you check them out. It's really, really easy, really simple, and it could help transform your game. Check it out.
I want to share with you something that most amateur golfers I coach are completely unaware of.
See here we do have a fairway littered with golf balls, all very similar outcomes, all very similar shots. For me, I absolutely love the price point of the Takomo. I love the heritage of the Mizuno. Is the price point worth the heritage of the Mizuno, and do they perform better? They definitely feel a little bit softer. So if you're in the market for really, really mega soft irons, they're probably the ones you'd go for. But if you're in the market to save a little bit of money, I don't know. So we're 150 yards out here. We're going to jump from the long irons straight down to the mid to short irons. We've got the 8 iron. These are the clubs that we are actually testing in the GolfZone simulator. This is a club where I'd want to know the numbers. I'd want to know, does it go consistently the distance? Does it go with the spin rate I want it to? And how consistent is it on the occasional miss hit? Both these clubs actually look quite different when you look down at them. I've got the Takomo here. It's a little bit more industrial looking. It's a little bit more, got a bigger toe angle, if that makes sense, but still looks divine and still works just like that. Guys, can you see that flag? Go on. That is so close to that flag, it is unreal. Lovely turf interaction. I mentioned about the chamfered off leading edge earlier on the 4 iron. This is certainly the case as well with the 8 iron. It really does help that club just manufacture its way through the turf there. It's the little things, but they didn't have to do that, especially with the price that they're knocking these out at direct to consumer. Now, can we get closer with the Mizuno? I'll give myself a good lie, because I had a good lie with the Takomo. Straight away, a smaller looking blade here. I don't mind it. Very similar loft angles on these, and interestingly, you could go split set with these. You could go JPX Tour low irons, you could even go forged kind of high irons, 4 iron, 5 iron, and you can go MB in the Takomo and CB in the long irons if you want. Right, there's a lot to live up to here, Mr. Mizuno. And fair to say, Mizuno doesn't disappoint. Different strike there. I didn't compress it quite enough, but it's still up there towards that flag. Very similar outcomes again, and I think for the price difference, you'd have to look at these outcomes and think, what am I really looking for? Let's jump back inside and see how these 8 irons perform for numbers. Because the big thing for a lot of people, certainly a little bit of a firmer feel there. If you like that, you will enjoy the feel, but look at the results. Again, it's one pretty close. I feel pretty dialed in today. I feel like I'm swinging well. That certainly helps when you are testing golf clubs. And that one was 6007 spin, and again, the right distance. So I feel like this could be quite close compared to how much these irons would set you back. That one's gone a little bit higher. Maybe there was more speed there to go up. I'd imagine a little bit more spin on it. Exactly the same. Those balls are identical. 7,400 spin, and that one's gone 150 in the air again. So very, very similar numbers. And look how close together those shot traces are. That one was low and skinny. That's the first one I've really kind of misstruck. If this gets on the green, right, we need to have a discussion. 153, the spin dropped there, 5.7. That was down to the strike, not down to the iron. It's really important that you do think about these things when testing irons. You've got to be honest with yourself. Then you can put a swing like that on it just after. These feel really nice. They feel really compact. They're definitely not as soft as the Mizuno. Funnily enough, that one's dropped a little bit short on me there. That one spun at 9,000. I got a little bit fruity with that. Last shot with the Takomo. Pretty good. Go on, be good, it's got to be. It's the exact perfect number again. So guys, as you can see, very, very similar numbers from the Takomo A-Iron and the Mizuno A-Iron. A tiny bit more ball speed from the Mizuno and a tiny bit more spin. I think that is more down to the strike in all fairness. Very similar distances as well, just a couple of yards in it either way. I'd say these numbers are very, very, very similar. It just comes down to what do you like the look of, what do you like the sound of, and what do you like the budget of. You have to ask yourself, which one would you go for? Number 1 versus number 3, My Golf Spy. Let's get back on the golf course and settle this once and for all. The fact that the Mizuno is number 1 is no shock. I think Mizuno have always made fantastic irons. It would take one heck of an effort for anyone to knock Mizuno off their perch, be it TaylorMade, be it Callaway, be it Titleist, be it Ping. The top 5 as a whole I think is really interesting. There's some really interesting clubs in there. Number 5 actually I've never heard of. I've never seen them. I'd love to get them to test actually. Surprised there is no Titleist in there. That kind of threw me a little bit, but certainly a good array of different clubs for you to test. And if you look at the differences here with these A-Irons out on the course as opposed to in the simulator, you'll see it's a very consistent outcome. I didn't quite catch the Mizuno, so it's not got that compression, it didn't get that ball speed. That's a Takomo. That for me, I'm taking that all day, especially if I'm saving money. Me and Chris actually ran a series where we bought Takomos instead of maybe a higher end set such as Ping, Callaway, TaylorMade, Titleist, and we used that money to play some fantastic golf courses. So would you rather have the money in your pocket to go and play the courses, have some lessons, or buy some cool Puma gear, or would you rather just have the irons? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, we have tested the 4 irons, we've tested the 8 irons, now it's time for the trusty 6 irons. Guys, just how can these compare out here on the golf course? We're on a beautiful par 3, my favourite hole here at Waterfront Golf Club. Interestingly guys, I'm also giving away a good putter on the channel at the moment, so make sure you do check out the link in the description for that. The video is live. We have, that is on the other side. Oh. Well, it is the Captain Chariot hole as well. I thought that was yardage, but make sure you check it out if you'd like to help the Yorkshire Air Ambulance. We have 175 yards into a little bit of wind. This should be the perfect 6 iron. We'll go Mizuno first this time. Again, you can start to see that little bit of difference in design with Mizuno. You can tell they've been doing it for quite some time. You can tell it's going to feel a little bit softer. We've also got that satin finish on these clubs, which does start to wear actually. I'm not a massive fan of that. I would prefer chrome. 6 iron. That's as good as you're going to strike a golf ball. It's leaking a touch right, should cover the bunker, should be safe, and it is. That's just topside right of the green. Nothing wrong with the club, just more down to pilot error really. And when you are testing golf clubs, it's mega important to bear that in mind. When we did the numbers, I hit a bad 8-iron, I think with the Takomos. You're always going to see a bit of drop off. No club is perfect like that. Now's where we kind of learn from that and probably hit it a bit closer with the 301 CB. Oh dear. Interesting to show as well that with 2 bad tee shots there on the par 3, both of them are around flag high. The Mizuno was a little bit right and the Takomo was quite a bit left, but it still maintained the distance. So it shows that both these irons are doing the job even on bad golf swings. And this is quite a poignant thing to finish on, you know guys. I've just hit 2 bad shots there really. One's just right of the green, one's a little bit left of the green. If you are an average golfer, if you're an everyday golfer, if you're a mid-handicap, high-handicap golfer, but you want a kind of player's iron, you feel like your ball striking's there, does it matter which ones you go for? Should you just go for the brand that you like, the feel that you like, and ultimately the club that you like the look of, and that matches your budget? Guys, thank you so much for watching. That's me reacting to My Golf Spy's number 1 and number 3 best player's iron of 2023. I think they've nailed it. I think Mizuno's always probably going to be the best player's iron if it's in your budget. But watch out brands, because Takomo are coming for you. Guys, thank you so much. Smash that subscribe button. I'll see you all at the same time tomorrow. Goodbye.